135. That was the number of automobile manufacturers the U.S. Army sent requests to in 1940. They needed a new reconnaissance vehicle light, durable, and capable of crossing terrain in a way no vehicle of that era could. The machine the world would later know as the Jeep. And do you know how many companies dared to accept that offer? Exactly one. A small car company, almost unknown, and standing on the edge of bankruptcy. They had no advanced technology, no massive assembly line, and most importantly, they had only 49 days to create a prototype from absolute zero. Today, we are not talking about legends. We are talking about an engineering miracle, forged under the brutal pressure of war to create the first Jeep. Welcome to Everyday Things Explained. The 49-day deadline. In 1940, the U.S. Army issued an insane requirement. A four-wheel drive Jeep with a maximum payload of 600 kilograms and a test vehicle had to be delivered in less than 7 weeks. The invitation was sent to 135 manufacturers. Only 3 companies responded. American Bantam was the company that brought the first prototype in on time, 49 days. For Bantam, a small company in trouble, this contract was a survival gamble. They did not need profit, they needed survival. Engineer Karl Probst was called in. He had no time to design from scratch. He had to dig through every parts warehouse available on the market, assemble, weld, and turn scattered pieces into a complete frame. That was not design. That was improvisation in panic. Design by necessity. Probst and the Bantam team did something unprecedented. They prioritized function absolutely. This Jeep did not need air conditioning, glass windows, or a glamorous appearance. Every detail had a survival purpose. High ground clearance to cross mud, a doorless body so soldiers could escape in an instant if attacked, four-wheel drive so it would never get stuck. They created a tool, not a car. When the first prototype was completed, they did not even have the money to hire a truck to transport it. They drove it themselves for hundreds of kilometers from Pennsylvania to the army camp. That was not a test drive. It was the harshest real-world durability test. If it broke down on the road, Bantam's dream would end. But it reached the destination. The production trap. Bantam won the engineering race, but they lost the production race. The U.S. Army needed hundreds of thousands of Jeeps, and Bantam did not have the capacity to do that. The cruelty of war was right here. Bantam's idea was taken by the military, broken apart, and handed to the two giants, Ford and Willys. They possessed massive assembly lines, modern steel stamping technology, and mass production capability Bantam had never dreamed of. As a result, the vehicles rolling onto the battlefield were not the child of one car company, but the product of nationwide industrial standardization. The success of this machine was paid for by the fading of the very people who created it. More than a car. Why, even today, does the shape of that Jeep remain an icon? Because it proves that when humans are pushed to the edge, we create the most optimized things. It was not designed by fashion designers or marketing experts. It was designed by pressure, by urgent need, and by engineers trying to save their company. Its roughness was, in truth, the language of reliability. Every time you see the square, minimalist lines of modern off-road vehicles, remember that they did not come from a computer drawing, but from a tiny workshop that dared to race against time and won in 49 days. A name born to last. Today, the Jeep Wrangler still carries many marks of that wartime machine. The square shape, the practical body, and the spirit of being ready to leave the asphalt behind. The vehicle changed the very idea of military transportation. But If this vehicle's design was minimized to serve war, then is there another design minimized so far that it disappears completely? See you in the next episode of Everyday Things Explained. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it.